This is my good side. And I would like to talk to you today about self-doubt. Well, you know, I have the whole thing written. Now I'm thinking maybe that's not a good idea to go verbatim with that. But I'm going to go halfway with it. So, with self-doubt, is doubting yourself that you can do something that you know that you can do, but you doubt it. And you put yourself down in the midst of it. And when you do that, you take away something that is great, and that is you. You know, when you have someone else self-doubting you, and they're doubting what you can do and what you can't do, you know, that's a different thing, because you either give them the power or you take the power back from them, because they can't do no more than what you allowed them to do. And majority of the time when people are self-doubting you, it's a reflection of them. It's what they can't do, or what they feel that they can't do, or what they want to do but they can't do because they see you doing it. And that is not your fault. That's theirs, and that's their issue, and you need to leave it there and walk away from that. You know, but when you start self-doubting yourself, that is a whole nother issue. And when you're self-doubting yourself because somebody else is self-doubting you, that is another issue too. You know, sometimes you have to just sit back and take back the power and think like, okay, I got this plan, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do it. And you know, when you do lose faith in yourself, it's like a domino effect. You know, you say, oh, I can't do it. Then your mind be like, oh, can't do it. And then when you start to do it and it's not looking the way you thought it was supposed to look like, then it knocks another domino down and be like, oh man, this is so hard, I can't do it. And then you knock another domino down, and then you be like, well, maybe if I try tomorrow it'll do something. Then you knock another domino down, and then you're like, okay, well, I'll do it next week. And then here you are standing in the middle of the room like, well, I should have done this. You know, so now I'm telling you, pick the dominoes up, put them back in the box, because that's not where we need them right now. We're not playing that game. Today we're playing something different. We're playing I can. Because when you set your mind to do something, self-doubt has no place in the room with you. It's only I can. And when you feel like you're losing the battle of that self-doubt, and you're going down that rabbit hole like this is where I'm at, you know, you definitely want to make sure that you pick up your bootstraps and say, okay, I can, and I'm going to do this, and this is how I'm going to do it, and where I'm going to do it. And if someone comes to you and say, oh no, you can't do it, or this and that, then you say, no, I am going to do it. I'm going to try. I'm going to give it my best. Even if I don't succeed, I have given it my best. So that you have now taken that negative energy and that self-doubt away, and now you've put in place forward that I can do this, I will do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to try to do this. And as long as you try, you can't lose, because even if you don't succeed at what you tried to do, at least you went and did it. You know, most of the time, the hardest thing is to get someone to do it, or to even get to start to do it. So you have accomplished that and went beyond. So, you know, pat yourself on the back, because I have a lot of youth out here who thinks that they can't go and do what they need to do. And that is not the truth. You know, and a lot of adults do it too, you know, and I find that it's just a domino effect. It comes right back around, and what they see the adults do, they do it too. And then they say, well, I can't do it because, you know, my mom or dad didn't do it. Well, that was them. You try, you do your own thing, you stand in the middle of the room and you go for it. And even if you don't succeed, you try. But that don't mean stop after you done tried and you don't succeed. You keep going until you get that or get what you want. Because 5 out of 10, most people only go as far as the try. And then they don't succeed. And then they stop. And that's it. But see, the next thing you know, you have to keep going. And you keep trying. You know, you never get it probably on the first try, especially if you haven't done it before and don't know how to do it. If you come back around and be like, oh, well, I did that before, oh, I can do it this way. This will be different than the first time I did it, and it'll be more successful. And even if it's not successful and you didn't make it, then come back and do it another way. There's always a different way to do one thing. It's not always the same way to do something. So if you don't succeed the first time, keep trying, So I like to start my day off, especially when I'm in that self-doubt mode, with 3 things. And this helps me get through that moment of the self-doubt and self-pity. There was a moment a couple of months ago that I was trying to do something and I was like, man, I can't do it. And, my partner, she was like, well, yeah, you can. She's like, you can do it. And I was like, no, I really can't. She's like, well, why don't you use your model? You tell everybody else your model. Why don't you use your model? And I decided to, use my model. And I was like, wow, it did work. Because, I tried. I didn't succeed. But then I did try again, and I went and maneuvered and did it another way, and then it finally worked. And I was like, wow. I tell everybody else all this stuff, and I'm like, I never use it on myself. So now I'm going to share my self-doubt model with you. And it works, I know, because I've used it. And it has helped me. So hopefully it'll help you as well. So the first step is to remember you can do anything you put your mind to. The second step is to remember to say that I believe in myself, and whatever I want to whatever I get my mind to do, that is what I'm going to set my mind to do. The third step is to not waver, especially when it gets hard. Don't waver. The fourth step is, and this is the most important step of all, you do whatever you can and be as confident as you can with whatever you're doing. You give it your pride, you give it your joy, and you give it your 100. And know that you have done the best that you can do. And if it doesn't work out or succeed, don't give up. Try it again. And I think that was the most important one. So whenever else fails, I make sure I try to use that model, and it is one of the things that did help me that day. And I was like, man, afterwards I was like, victory all the way. So this could help you, and I hope it does, and if it does help you, leave a comment in a box below and tell me your story so we can share our victories together.
Dax, in episodes in the past, you've talked about the dangers of cyberbullying, cyber trashing, and in terms of self-doubt, it's very hard, I think, for our young people to be like, it's just Instagram. These are trolls. These social media platforms, as we've seen, Vine, and they come and go. They are not life.
Right.
But when young people are being trashed and slammed and bullied and told that they're worthless, or even so far as oh, just go kill yourself, or why don't you kill yourself? It's very easy to have self-doubt when you have this whole platform of people, sometimes it seems, that's picking you apart and talking bad about your hair, your skin, your eyes, your politics, your whatever it is.
Right.
What would you say to a young person who is being attacked on social media? How can they recover their confidence in themselves, their belief?
Well, if they're being attacked on social media, for one, take that very seriously. Because, people these days, they're not playing fair and they don't hit with their hands like they used to. They're coming back with knives and guns, and now they're coming back with cyberbullying. For two, think about what you have to live for. Think about what you have and know who you are. Because, for one, people can say what they want to say and they can do what they want to do on their end. But as far as you are in control of how far you let that go. Whether you tell someone, talk it over with friends to get their advice of what they would do or where would they go with the cyberbullying, and also make sure that if there's threats or something like in that nature, file a police report, because these are very important things and very dangerous things to play with. So with that said, you have to protect you at all costs, no matter who it is that's doing the cyberbullying with you. Protect you and get help. Tell friends. I would also say, if you're being cyberbullying, make a thread. Pass it along, send that email or text, or, if you get a Snapchat, record it from off your phone onto another friend's phone and keep that, because we know Snapchat, once you view it, is gone. So, make sure when you hit that replay button, you have your friend recording that. And then you report that. Send it to the authorities where they can do something for you. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button so you'll never miss an episode. And comment below and tell me something about yourself. Because I am Dax.